Hello everyone. Okay, this isn't like the end of the video, but I wanted to throw this clip at the beginning of the video just as a disclaimer. I want to let you guys know that I am an imperfect human and I never want to be an idol or something like people put their like expectations on to be perfect or a perfect Christian, because I'm not. I am far from it. So I wanted to put this at the beginning of the video that everything I say, I want you to filter it through God and just really ask if it resonates with your heart and like what God calls us to do. I first ask God if this is right and then I relay it to you, but that doesn't mean things won't slip through the cracks. So I just encourage you also to have discernment and filter what I say through God as well. So yeah, that is my disclaimer of my video, and probably will be for all my videos, because I just want to make sure you guys know that I'm real. I am going to make mistakes, and I think that's where things can get fishy is when we see these YouTubers or influencers and we think like they're perfect, and then all of a sudden they mess up and we've had them as our idol or like the perfect image of what we want to be, and then they mess up and it's even that much more devastating because of what we kind of like labeled them as. So I'm just coming straight to you guys and say, please do not label me as perfect, because I'm not. I'm going to mess up. It's inevitable. We all do. I probably mess up every day. So yeah, even though I'm telling you how you can build a closer relationship with God, doesn't mean I have the best relationship with God or I'm the closest to God. Like, it's ups and downs and it's a journey, and I have accepted that. So as you go through this journey, I really hope you accept that too. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough because you're gonna put these expectations that you need to be perfect, and that's not what God asks us. He just asks us to try hard. Okay, love you guys. Let's get into the video. Hello, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build a relationship with God, especially if you're a newer Christian. Someone on Instagram recommended that I do this video, so shout out to you. I love you, and I thought it was an amazing idea. So here we go. I am doing this video vlog style because I just didn't really feel inspired to just sit down and chat about it. I kind of want to talk about it throughout my day, over the next couple days, to really get my point across and just be more genuine into like how I feel about filming this video. I don't know if that makes sense, but first tip into building your relationship with God is to not compare yourself and to get rid of this idea of what a perfect Christian looks like. No matter how many times you go to church or Bible study, all this stuff, it doesn't necessarily define your relationship with God. So with that being said, we all connect to God in a different, unique way, and what works for me or somebody else might not work for you. So I'm going to tell you my perspective of like what has worked for me, but I want you to explore and use this stage as an experimentation process and to really figure out how you connect best with God, because it might be completely different. And I just want to encourage you that it doesn't need to look exactly like the way I connect with God or your friend does or the way your church tells you you should do, whatever. It's gonna be different for everyone. So like I said, it might change week to week for you. Sometimes I feel more connected to God when I'm alone in my room versus when I am in a big crowded room at Bible study. So I just want to encourage you that it might not look the same as me, but you just need to keep trying things out until you figure out what exactly makes you feel most connected. Okay, it's a little bit later in the day. I am about to leave to go to a Bible study, but we are actually taking a week off from Bible study to just do a girls' night and like getting to know each other better. So we're all bringing snacks. So I'm preparing like build your own smoothie bowls. So that's what I'm gonna be doing while I chat. So my next tip for just like connecting with God, if you are new to your faith or even if you've been in it for a while, relates to what I'm about to do tonight, and it is finding a godly community to be a part of. Seriously, making friends who are Christian has been like so amazing for my faith. It makes me feel not alone or isolated. I can relate and like talk to people about what I'm struggling with or what I'm going through, and they're gonna give me godly advice. And the advice that they give me versus my friends who aren't Christian is typically pretty different. So yes, tip number 2 is find a godly community. And another way to do that is plugging into a Bible study that you really love or relate to. Don't be afraid to go alone or hop around. Most Bible studies are super friendly. I personally suggest doing a young adult one just so you can connect a little bit better. I find I connect with young adults better, but that's kind of obvious because I am a young adult. So yes, find a Bible study in your age group that you really feel connected to, and also build a like solid godly community. This will help you develop in your faith more, just because they're going to be talking more about God, and you can explore your faith and ask them questions about beliefs. So yes, tip number 2 is develop your community. Find people you connect with in your church or outside of the church. Just find a community that like pushes you closer to God. Yeah, so I'm gonna make this smoothie bowl, and then I think I'm gonna take you with me and get the girls' opinion on it. Making our acai bowls. Oh my gosh, wait, that one looks beautiful.
Oh, what's wrong with mine? It's all about the presentation, girl. Insta that.
Nothing's wrong with yours.
You got it. You're
Yogi, do you love me? You keep going further away.
You were loving, Bobo. You were loving.
Oh, now he's leaving me for Maddie. So we just finished our girls' night. We just had a really intimate moment. We all went around and told each other one characteristic we love about each other. Lots of tears. If you guys have friends, I hope you do. I recommend you do this exercise.
What?
Oh, we got background dancers. So now I'm gonna ask all the girls how they connect with God for the video. So let's see what they have to say.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. So the question is, how do I maintain a relationship with God?
Yeah, what's one thing you do to like connect with God or build your relationship with God?
So my favorite thing to do with God is actually put him in a routine. I know that sounds really crazy and really weird, but I put him in a way where I automatically, at a certain time of the day, I connect with him. So how I like to do it is I wake up, I go to the gym, and then I go and I meditate, and right afterwards when I'm taking a shower, and then also after when I'm meditating and getting ready, I pray the entire time. I go 3 things that I'm thankful for and 3 things that I want to communicate with him. So I like to look at my relationship with God. First is I go, number 1, God, no matter what, I'm choosing connection with you. I choose my relationship with you. I choose to love you. This is a relationship. And I really look at my relationship with God exactly how I would look at a relationship like with a human. So I go, God, I know that because we're in a relationship, you want to know me, and I want to know you, and I want to understand you. So number 1, I choose connection with you. And number 2, I am thankful for 1, 2, 3. So I like to say 3 things that I'm ultimately so incredibly thankful for. And then because of a relationship, I know he wants to understand me. So I go, God, from this time in my life and from what I see from myself in this moment, there are 3 things, and I do this every day, that I really would like to see in my life today, that I really would like you to put an extra hand on. And because we're in this relationship, I know that you want to listen to me. So like I see things from a perspective you don't, and you see things from a perspective that I don't. So I want to communicate them to you. So I go, I want to do this, like I would love to see this would help me succeed, and this would help me do really, really well. So I take them and then I just give them up to God. So I'm communicating my needs to him because I know that he wants wants to understand my needs. So I communicate that to him, and then I just give it to him. So I surrender to them entirely. And I know he's at work, I know he's at magic, and that's what we call faith. So I communicate to him, I make sure I always have a connection with him, and then I give it to him entirely. So I just completely surrender.
Yes.
So I do that every single day, and then throughout my day, it's just a constant kind of communication. So it's a constant kind of like, hey God, this is what's going on. So I celebrate with him, but I also give him any kind of things that I'm going through, just like I would do with a communication with another human being, but I do it with the Almighty, the limitless, the thing that we all have the same power source from, so why would I get my power from anybody else when I can get it, where a human that's limited, when I can get it from a source that's unlimited. So it's very rational to have a relationship with God, but it's also so incredibly magical to have a relationship with God. So it is literally the best thing that I do every single day. It's the reason why I wake up in the morning, because he fuels that fire, and it makes me so excited to be alive every single day. It literally is like my soul. So it's amazing, it's beautiful, and that's the reason why I have a relationship, because it's literally the fire. It's literally the fire to my soul, and that's what I do to keep a relationship every single day, and I never get tired of it because it's unlimited.
Awesome. Thank you. This is Maddie. Oh my gosh.
So to build a relationship and stay connected with God, the first thing that comes to my mind is the people I surround myself with. But not only the people I surround myself with, but the women that I surround myself with. I don't like to look at like men and women as too different, but they do operate differently. They process differently. And I think that going through at least the season of life that we're all in, which is just ever changing, having supportive, loving, encouraging, faith-filled, God-fearing women in my corner is so key. And the one thing that comes to my mind is, well, two things is the day I'm getting married. It was like non-negotiable that like I needed to have every single woman there. Like I needed them to be praying over me, and I thought that would, like, because I need women that are going to be in mine and Luke's corner when we're married, and when things go wrong, or when something happens and we're struggling, for them to encourage me to love him through it and to turn to God. I found that hard in past relationships I was in, when I was surrounded by women who were not seeking after the Lord and his goodness and his will. I just found that they implanted a lot of doubt in me, and more hesitation and resistance. And so it's just really cool, and especially the season that I'm in, is just to be surrounded by women that are just going to continue to help me keep my love on.
Yes, thank you. Maddie will also be linked in the description. Okay, this is Brittany. So, what is your opinion?
Honestly, one of the things that I do to really get connected with God and feel that he is truly in his presence would be worship music. I listen to Hillsong worship music every single day, anywhere I am, in my house, every morning, in my car. My only playlist is Hillsong worship music. So I find just having him in his presence, listening to the music, having my emotions, really just praying throughout that worship music helps me get connected to him on such a deeper level.
So good. Thank you. Oh no, I just pet the cat. I'm kind of allergic to the cat. Good morning. Good morning. What am I doing? Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I just woke up, if you can't tell. And I'm going to go into my next tip on how I stay connected and build my relationship with God. So, one thing that really helps me is I keep my phone on airplane mode, because the first thing I want to do in the morning is have that connection. I know if this is on and I start scrolling through things or looking at notifications, cat's right here, that I just won't get out of bed, and I probably won't start reading my Bible or whatever it is. But with that being said, I do use the Bible app sometimes. I stopped for a while just because I didn't even want to have my phone on at all. But then I started realizing, this is what it looks like. Then I started realizing once my devotional was done, I realized I wasn't in the habit of reading my Bible in the morning anymore. It was kind of hard just to like open it up raw. So sometimes I will have a devotional that I'll set an alarm, and it'll remind me to read it every morning. So sometimes I'll do like 2 or 3 at a time, and I'll just go through those devotionals to like start connecting and reflect on them. And then sometimes I'll take the verses in those devotionals and then open them up in my Bible. This is the Bible I use, which is the Message. Oh, come on, girl. Oh my gosh, I'm getting bad allergies. Like, this goes along with my next tip of find a Bible that you can read. I had a really hard time picking up my Bible in the beginning. Put her butt in my face. Stop. Okay, are you just like showing off your tail for the camera? So I had a really tough. I had a really hard time reading the Bible in the beginning because it was really hard for me to understand it and get through it. I would a lot of times zone out when I was reading it because I didn't really understand what I was reading until I picked up the Message. And the Message is just a contemporary version of the Bible, so it just uses more modern language. And I just understand it a lot better. I still like to compare it to like NLT or some other versions of the Bible just because I feel like it doesn't have as much heart and soul as the regular Bible. But yes, I understand it a lot better. So sometimes I'll just pray and be like, God, show me something, and then I'll open it up to a random page and then start reading that random page and kind of see what's in there for me. And then sometimes I'll like do that again and like pick a different page. So that's one way I like to do it. The third way is having a physical devotional. I just finished this one. It was Embraced by Liza Terkeurst. I will link this below. This one's amazing. It's also like beautiful and had really good devotionals. I liked it because they were multiple pages instead of just like one short paragraph. Some of them were like 3 or 4 pages, so I really liked that. And then I would definitely like reflect on the scriptures as well in here. The last way I like to connect with God in the mornings is by using a prayer journal. So on the side, I'll like put a list of who I'm praying for. I don't know, I kind of use it for all sorts of things. I will put down like who I'm praying for, what I'm praying for, what God has told me. I don't know, sometimes I'll just journal about what I'm learning. I have my list of qualities that I want in a husband in here. Yeah, and then I'll just like write down like questions I have for God, takeaways I've had from different experiences. But a big thing that's helped me is putting a prayer list of who I'm praying for so I can like go through the list, especially if I don't want to be on my phone at all in the morning. It's really, really good for me to just have something written down for me to use. So those are all the ways like in the morning I like to connect with God. You can experiment and figure out. I'm sorry, I'm such a mess this morning. Not have touched the cat and then my eye. Oh my gosh, I'm flashing my boob. Okay. So those are all the ways in the morning that I like to connect. Definitely explore each one, see if any of them work for you. I rotate a lot. I'm not one to do the same thing every morning, So yeah, I just encourage you to change it up. Maybe first thing you do is put on a worship playlist, or grab your devotional, or maybe it's journaling, or just hopping right into the Bible. There's also videos on YouTube that kind of give you a brief explanation of the Bible, like by chapter. It's like a little story, like animation about like what they're talking about in the Bible. I know some the women at my church like to watch that video and then start reading that chapter, but I think I can like talk about that more in depth if I do a like how I study my Bible video. So yeah, I hope those tips helped you on building a connection. I may take you along to Bible study tonight and then in my video after that. So let's do it.
Earth has to offer. There's nothing you can give in exchange to your soul. And I don't know if y'all heard the term martyr, but martyr means to die for a stake or for a cause. So like Jesus, his disciples, you can call them martyrs. And the reality is, look man, 2019 in America, we in AC right now, there ain't nobody pressing us outside the building. We can do this. I can get up here and talk all types of stuff, and ain't nobody gonna come here and kill me. But check this out, we can't let that make us lazy. And I've heard it said like this, just because we might not be martyrs ourselves, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to martyr our way of life. I'll say this again, we're supposed to martyr our way of life. We are supposed to kill off all of the desires, all of the things we've been taught about. Go after the things of this world, seek the next man's approval. You be the man in your own life, you be the woman in your own life. We're supposed to kill all of that and literally surrender it all to Christ. Because like I said earlier, that's what belief is. Belief is surrender and abandoning all of those things that are ungodly, that are falling short of his glory. That's what we're called to do with the grave. And I need to say, if Jesus never resurrects, he is just another prophet who has some really cool teachings. But the fact that Jesus resurrected is the fact that we better all be sitting in this room grateful that he spared our lives long enough to hear what he has to say to us. The fact that he resurrected means that he is God in human form. And Paul says, I want to know the power of the resurrection. And then he says, to participate in his suffering. The cross represents suffering. The cross was actually a torture device back in the day. And I truly believe, if I had to put a definition on what is taking up your cross, I would say it's abandoning the natural instinct for self-preservation for the sake of the gospel.
Good morning. Okay, for my last tip, you can see I went to Bible study last night. And I know we talked about like godly community, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about Bible study and finding a Bible study you really connect with. But not only that, I encourage you to find a Bible study that convicts you and pushes you to grow. I think some churches can be very motivational, but when Ryan talks, I'm like, dang, like the fear of God is there, and I'm like, I need to step up in my faith. I need to do all of the, like, it just makes me really want to grow and invokes the fear of God in me. And if your young adult group offers events outside of just like the actual Bible study, go to them. Ours, everyone goes out to eat afterwards, and going out to eat afterwards is how I connected with so many people there and really got to know more people there. So I would highly recommend that. And I would just go alone when I really didn't know many people well, and through that, just going out to eat afterward, it helped. My Bible study also does SALT, which is singles something, I don't know. Basically, it's a night where all the single men and women all go together at someone's house, and typically they'll separate and talk about different topics on marriage and dating, and that has been so awesome to be a part of. They also do like meetups at like Topgolf or basketball or feeding the homeless. So I would definitely just encourage you to get plugged in with an amazing like Bible study, but something that has like a community aspect as well, where you can connect with them and like do life together, because growing your relationship with God can be hard if you're still surrounded by a lot of people who are not connected with God, and that's just a fact. And I'm not saying you have to leave all those friends behind. I'm just saying that you do need to start surrounding yourself with a godly community, so you can get more support on your walk with God. So those are all my tips on how to develop your relationship and grow your relationship with God or connect with Him. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any other requests. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up with me a little bit closer, or if you want to just see a bunch of embarrassing videos of me. And that is all. Okay, I love you guys so much. Oh, and you can subscribe if you want.